You finish the day, look back at what you did, and it's not bad, but it's not what you had in mind. You expected more from yourself, and you didn't reach it. And now, it doesn't feel like a small mess. It feels personal, like you let yourself down. That gap between what happened and what it means is where disappointment builds. I'm in. This is dose of confidence, and this is why disappointment in yourself feels so hard. Let's break this down. That feeling of disappointment in ourselves doesn't always come from big failures. It can show up in small moments. When you say something you didn't mean, when you avoid something you know matters, when you fall short of a standard only you can see, when you finish the day with a vague sense that you could have done better. And most of the time, no one else sees it the way you do. From the outside, nothing looks wrong, but internally, something feels misaligned. At the center of this feeling, there is a mismatch. The version of you that you had in mind versus the version that came through. Sometimes that expectation is defined and clear. You planned to be focused. You planned to respond better. You planned to follow through. Other times it's not. Just a sense that you should be further ahead, more consistent, more in control. And when your reality doesn't match that image you painted for yourself, that gap starts to be a disappointment. It turns into judgment. It becomes very personal. It becomes about you. It's no longer, I didn't do this well. It becomes, I cannot do this at all. That's why the feeling is so hard, because you start attaching it to your sense of who you are, to your identity. If you see yourself as disciplined, then inconsistency feels worse than it actually is. If you see yourself as kind, then one single bad reaction can keep haunting you. It's not just about the mistake itself anymore. It's what the mistake seems to represent. A lot of these expectations don't start with you. They are built over time, from how you were raised, from what was praised, from what was criticized, then reinforced by what you see around you. People your age are doing more. People online presenting a better version of life. People you compare yourself to without realizing it. So now you're holding yourself to a standard that feels personal but was never fully yours. And when you fall short of it, it feels like you failed, even if the standard itself was unrealistic to begin with. There's a specific kind of disappointment that hits harder than the rest. When you actually tried your best, you put in effort, you cared, and still it didn't work. That touches something deeper, because part of you expected that effort would be enough, that trying would protect you from this feeling, but it doesn't. And now it feels unfair, not just disappointing, but also confusing. Even though it feels intense, this emotion isn't useless. It points to something. It shows you that you care. It shows you where things didn't connect properly. And sometimes it shows you that the way you're measuring yourself needs to change, because not every disappointment means failure. Some disappointments mean the expectation was too strict. Some mean the timing wasn't right. Some mean you're still learning something you expected yourself to already know. The feeling itself isn't a problem, it's the meaning you attach to it. There are real limits to what you can do right now. Limits in energy, limits in knowledge, limits in emotional capacity. And that's not a flaw. It's basically called being a human. But the mistake is turning those limits into a measure of your value. Seeing someone do something better than you doesn't make you worthless. It just highlights a difference in timing, in experience, in focus. You're not worth any less just because you're not the best at that moment. Even after you understand all of this, that disappointment can still appear. That's the frustrating part. You can know where it comes from and still feel it. In those moments, the goal isn't to eliminate it, it's to respond differently. And instead of letting it turn into a statement about who you are, you pause a moment and separate what happened from your sense of self. You allow the feeling to exist without letting it define you. Disappointment in yourself doesn't mean you're failing. It usually means you care and expected more from yourself. You're not meant to meet every vision of yourself that you imagine. Some of those visions were built without considering your reality, and that's okay. The question is, what would it change if you stopped using every shortfall as proof against yourself? If this video helped you, feel free to subscribe and share it with someone who might need it. And let me know what other topics you'd like to hear about next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.